And before you know it, guess what? We're back. Good to see everybody. Carolina Keith, regular Keith, Professor Keith, just Keith. I can't stand Keith. Oh my God, it's Keith. Nonetheless, I'm here to see you, here to talk about some charts. I hope y'all had a good week. It's been a little back and forth, a little up, a little down. Altcoins still fiddling around. Nonetheless, we're still here, still charting it, still ready to make the most of it. Without further ado, let's get off into Crypto After Dark. If you haven't done so, please go hit like. It costs nothing to hit the like button here, folks. When you hit like, that helps us out on the algorithm and sends it around to the YouTubes for us for free. For free. While you're there, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future live streams, any future videos, any future events we do. Now, I hate all the talking. At the same time, I've become clearly aware that talking about this stuff is quite important. The pushback that I got last stream after I talked about stuff and people didn't want to hear me talk lets me know I should talk more. If I just give chart and chart and chart and chart, no one takes it for an appreciation. They just don't care. They just want to hear what they want to hear and then they leave. But the talking is the real substance, and not a lot of people are getting enough of that. So I don't care. I'm going to continue to do it the way I think it should be done, no matter what here. The good news is there's not a lot to talk about tonight, jibber jabber wise. It's all kind of sideways. We'll get into that. This is Bitcoin dominance. As y'all know, I never do a clickbait thumbnail. It's always a thumbnail that makes exact sense to what we're going to be talking about that same night. I hate clickbait. So you saw me with a crown on my head doing the fake LeBron thing. I'm not a LeBron fan, everyone. It's about Bitcoin dominance and Bitcoin being the king. No matter what you want to do about it, Bitcoin still keeps bitch slapping the market every chance it gets. Whenever you think it's going to go up, it moves back down, and 1% Bitcoin down means 7 or 8% altcoin down. Oh, but what about this? Oh, but what about... None of it matters. And it continues to happen over and over and over again. You'd think people would get the hang of that, but people won't let it go yet. And that's okay. I understand it's not easy to grasp, and it's not easy to take on the chin and deal with. It's cool. I get it. So Bitcoin dominance is what I want to talk about. I've explained this chart multiple times. We'll go through it again because that's what we do. We keep going over the same stuff over and over again so that you can grasp it. All right. So quite simply, I'll remove these fibs for the time being, and I'm going to put them back in a minute. What I want you to see is the clear-cut uptrend, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, all the way up here. It's simply undeniable. An absolute rip of an uptrend since October 2023, when we all started buying everything over again. And if you're not sure how that works, we have a whole Discord right there at the bottom, wap.com/team786. There's a few spots open, not many. We are a closed group. If you don't get in, too damn bad. Simple as that. We'll never have a big group on purpose. We keep it small and intimate on purpose so everyone's there to learn and not just follow what Keith does. I hate that. I don't do signals. I don't do calls. All I do is share charts and teach charts. As simple as that. I do give everyone my information. Every trade that I make, every single transaction that I do is listed in the Discord so everyone can see it, so you know I'm not BSing you and I'm not lying to you. Plus, my entire portfolio is there. So anyway, we're still above the trend. It's still an absolute rip of a trend line. Until that yellow line fails, no alt season. Stop it. Altcoins may go up a little bit, but it's not alt season. It is not alt season until that yellow line fails. And I mean a good fail, not just one little candle poking under there, like a good solid fail. This is in log. If I flip it to linear, it's still not much different. So linear log, I don't want to hear it. It doesn't matter. Same difference, okay? Backtrack a little bit here and put my fibs back up. The thumbnail, as you see on the thumbnail that listed, oh, by the way, I got to pop out the chat. My fault. I missed that. There we go. We'll pop the chat out for y'all, so we'll get y'all on the chat too. All right. I'll get to that in a minute, but I got you over there. Okay, I promise. I'm looking at it. 618 upward, just like 2020. What am I referencing? Well, here we go. Here's 2020 to 2022, the exact same move that we're doing right now. Big, huge down. This thing climbed its way out of the gutter over a period of roughly a year and 2 years, really. It took a while, but it did dig itself out of the mud till it got to 618, 68, 71, golden pocket fib. That's the green square you see right there. That represents the golden pocket. That retracement level happens all the time on charts. We look for that level, especially on older assets that are more mature, just like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and some others. You'll find that the more you look at charts, the more you'll notice that some charts like certain areas better than others. We've noticed over the years, Bitcoin particularly cares the most for the golden pocket, and altcoins tend to hit 786 more than they tend to hit 618. It's pretty interesting to watch, honestly. Nonetheless, once this line failed, once this yellow line failed and buckled, that's when we got our real alt season. And you see the date there. It's dates at the bottom there. That's March 2021. That was well into 2021. Now, that doesn't mean that altcoins didn't go up before that. What it means is Bitcoin drug them up. All right, then the trend line failed, back tested several times. I'll zoom in here for you. Back tested that trend line several times, then really fell and gave its puke all over itself momentum. Good, we can take advantage of that. That's when alt season really kicked off, and it kind of ran all the way to the summer. And then you see Bitcoin in the summer gain some of that power back and fall a little bit before it just kind of flatlined until the end of the bear market. To the end of the bull market. Bear market started. We got a big pull up once the bear market ended, but that took a while. All right. We're going to have the same situation happen again here. All I need is this trend line to fail. Not exactly. This is just a rough drawing. This white right here, that's just hand drawn that I drew. I think it'll be something similar to that. I don't think it'll be exact. There's a solid possibility this thing still pushes up here toward these upper fibs. Because you saw in 2020 it did it, right? Now, I'm not positive that's going to happen. It could stop right here. But again, I still haven't broken this yellow line, and I cannot fall for it until it breaks that line. Now, again, we may have altcoins move up, but that doesn't mean it's alt season. Alt season was when everything runs the opposite of Bitcoin, which we'll talk about more in a moment. First, let me go say hey to everyone real quick in the chat. What's up, Kevin? Good to see you, brother. In case I don't make it live, want to drop by and say hi for the algorithm, bro. That's awesome. Thank you. If y'all haven't done so, go hit like. 13 people have hit like. Y'all can do better than that, man. Come on, hit the like button. I ain't asking for a lot. What's up, Jag? Good to see you. Robbie. What's up, Robbie? From Emoji. Good to see you, brother. What's up, Cheese? Crypto Trauma. That's my cousin. Have you figured out your Google Authenticator yet? No, you haven't. Distinctive Sean. What's up? Brian W. China Matt. Is this the big stream? B-I-G. I can't play Biggie because they'll flag me. I think that's what you're talking about. I don't think it's the big stream yet. Man, I don't think that comes until a couple weeks. You know, September rate cuts are looming. They're exactly 1 month away now. So, Phonetic Duck, good to see you, brother. Crew Chief, Jude, what's up? New phone frustration. I'm a new phone noob, bro. 100%. Work my ass off. Yes, brother. Thank you. Nothing comes without hard work. We can talk about it all day unless you want to be about it. There's a big difference in talk and action. And about that action, I don't like talking. I know people see me get on YouTube here and talk. Man, honestly, I hate this stuff. I don't like sitting in front of people and talking. It's awkward as hell for me. It gives me hella anxiety doing this. Not even gonna lie. Over the years, I've gotten better at it. What's crazy is to go back and watch the old streams of me doing this, dude, and watch me fumble around and screw up. I would have these moments when I was talking and I would pause because I realized everyone was watching me. And I had to stop for a second and go, oh shit, everyone's watching. And I had to regather my thoughts mid-thought, which is crazy. Now, it don't happen as much to me anymore. It's kind of chilled out over the years, luckily. But it's crazy that we've been doing this since 2019, man. 2020, when we really got serious doing YouTube streams. I used to just do the streams on Telegram or on Discord and not have any YouTube channel. After many, many times of being that's not the right word, being pressured, peer pressure from the people in the Discord, I decided to do a YouTube channel. We've run it up to almost 11,000 now. That's dope. I did recently start a TikTok. It'll be slightly different content than what you see on here. I'm doing something different on there. It's not going to be all crypto. It'll be something different, but it may still have some crypto stuff in there sprinkled around. I've already got almost 700 followers on there. I put it on Twitter. No one really followed me back, so it's all good. My Twitter or X engagement is so far down right now, dude. 16,000 people, and I'm getting like 400 views. It's crazy, dude. I don't know who I ticked off or what, but whatever. What's up, Ryan? Colo, how are you doing? Carmine, what's up, brother? Crypto Profits, good to see you. Crafting when I'm listening to be here till I sell everything at 25. Let's go, dude. After 25, the YouTube stream is going to be different, ain't it, bro? That's going to make people sad. You know, we did live streams the entire bear market. Bro, I had people left and right being angry with me. Eventually, they had to buckle. All right, Big Dex, what's up? Good to see you. Oh, I'm not doing no damn TikTok dances. That's out. Grax funny. It'll be stuff like if you guys watch the stream beforehand, if you come on beforehand, there's a preview, and it's me talking about the 4 rules of investing and trading, right? And I'm using those shorts on TikTok. Then I'll put some other stuff later, dude. You know what I mean? It's whatever. I'm not. It's whatever. I don't want to do the same thing on every platform, dude. I like all these other stuff, and I never get to talk about it because everyone only wants to ever talk about crypto. And I'll admit that I'm a crypto addict. Okay, so I have an addictive personality, and I know that. So I got to do some different stuff. Indeed, teaching is a skill. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Cheese. I got Gatorade tonight. I didn't want to drink. I know I haven't been drinking much on stream. I'm sorry. I'll grow up. All right, so I'm leaning toward this thing falling off more toward December. Now that we've kind of leaned back a little bit on rate cuts, I thought those might come in August or in July or August, and they didn't. So since we've kind of leaned back a little bit, things seem to be trending more toward 2016 than 2020. I'll show you what I mean in a second. But still, Bitcoin dominance needs to fail for all this to happen. And I think there's a chance that it may actually go up more. It's still over all the moving averages, which I will put up now on the daily first. Robbie, you were asking about this. This is very simple. 3 moving averages: yellow, blue, red. Yellow is the 50, blue is the 100, red is the 200. 50, 100, 200. Yellow, blue, red. And if you're using the Assassin's 3-for-1 or the Assassin's 6-for-1, you put the indicator in there. Once you put the indicator in there, you can go to indicators, personal. That's where all my scripts are. And if you want to take screenshots, there you go. These are all the scripts that I use that are in the Discord as part of our Discord. This plus many other indicators, right? So I click the one I want, which was the Assassin's 3-for-1. I click settings, and it tells you right here what the moving averages are, right? So I have the 821 EMA just turned off for now because I know what it looks like. And I'm just watching these main moving averages, 50, 100, 200. You can change the colors, at your behest. You decide what you want to do. There we go. So still over the 50, 100, 200, nothing to see there. Still ripping and gripping. Here is weekly. There's the 50 weekly, the 100 weekly, and the 200 weekly. We recently had a tits cross. Now, you don't know what a tits cross is yet, but a tits cross is when the moving averages cross, and we have price action that moves towards the crossing. As you see, we had a cross upwards, but it was below the candles, and we had a pullback until the crossing was done. Then we had more up. This was a confirmation that the crossing was good, and we're going to get more up later. We don't have any more tits crosses to do here because now they're in order, 50, 100, 200. However, we can find some charts that are not in order. And regular Bitcoin is a great example of that. All right, so here's Bitcoin weekly. This is the Bitstamp chart. Doesn't matter. All the weekly moving averages look the same across almost every chart. So 50, 200, 100. We have a tits cross coming in. We have had price action moving back while we get a tits cross. This is good. This is confirmation that our price action should hold up. We bounced the 50-week moving average right there with a nice wick. That's just Absolute beauty. We love to see wicks get bounced here. That's beautiful. It's still inside this megaphone here. And furthermore, if we step back a little bit and look at it a little bit zoomed out here, which I will pull up on Binance. All right. Take that off. Even with this recent trash consolidation sideways and down, which has sucked, this thing is still rocking a parabola and has not failed. It's still going. All right, no matter how I draw this, I got to kind of line this up at the end of the bull run here. I suck at drawing parabolas. There you go. Something like that. It's still parabolic. No matter what, no matter how I draw it, it hasn't failed yet. As simple as that. Has it thrown wicks? Yes. Has it acted like it was going to fail? Yes. Has it failed? The answer is no, it hasn't. We can see that typically after halving, we have about 500 plus days from halving to the end of the cycle. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show you here. This is every halving marked out. As you see, halving, halving, halving. I can then draw the tops in by putting red lines up. Like that. Like that. And I can go ahead and tell you you're going to have one over there somewhere. Why? Because I can measure now from halving to the top, about 525 from halving to the top, about 550 from halving to the top, call it 575. That's November 2025. 25 days each time it kind of added roughly. Now, how is that? Well, simply put, the hash rate changes a little bit at a time. While Bitcoin's math is perfect, the hash rate does have to adjust from time to time slightly. There is variance, not much, but a little. So we get a couple weeks here or there each time. We're within a couple weeks of the cycle at all times. We already know the next halving is scheduled for May of 2028. Since we know the next halving is May of 2028, we can draw the rest of this chart out. Good news, I've already done it for you. That's this chart. This is already completely drawn out and ready to rock. I've got halfway lines marked between halfway from halving to the top, that's purple. Halving to the top, that's purple. Halfway. You can go back and see that usually before the halfway mark, we start our run up. That was back in 2017. Here's 2020, before halfway, we start our run up. And here we are again. We haven't quite started our run up. Our halfway isn't until February 2025. Again, that's going to be a bit to get there, isn't it? This is why I said it's likely that we start this move before halfway. And honestly, between now and February is roughly October, November. That also happens to be when elections are. So let's divide this up a little bit more. I'll split it in half again. Right there between halfway and halving. You see that? I put a pink line kind of right in the middle. I'll do the same thing back here, about halfway in between. You can see I'm dividing this up fairly equally into eighths. Right? I'll do the same thing back here. And the key takeaway here is this is not perfect. I'm just getting close. I'm just getting close. I am not expecting the same percentages as is before. Not. I'm just looking at chart position. Chart position is all I really care about. Okay. The price will be what it is. That's regardless of what I'm looking for. I want the chart position so I know when to get in and when to get out roughly. From there, I can lock in my gains, minimize the losses, and make more money overall. And that goes for everyone. This isn't just for me. This is for everyone. What's up, Bill Childers? What's up, Anonymity? Who doesn't love tits crosses? I know, right? Exactly, bro. Exactly. We call it that. That's actually Technical Institute of Trading Systems that was created by Frank and Darth. We even have shirts made for it. I've got merch that I can post one day. I haven't sold a shirt in forever. But if somebody wanted the shirts, I can pop them up there for you on Redbubble. And you can see them. But nonetheless, you can see we're slowly approaching the pink line. In this instance, it seems to be around mid-September. Didn't I just tell you a couple minutes ago that we're going to have rate cuts in mid-September? Go back and look right here. right around mid-September, it really started to pop right over here. Shortly after, this was actually, it started a little bit before on this one. You see that? It was a little before half the pink line. But that was also September back in 2016 when it started. So I really wanted this to start in August, and I was really hopeful that we would get a move up based on the first couple weeks that we had here. But man, this thing absolutely went the other way on me, and I can't do anything about that. So unfortunately, I got to stick it out and wait. The good news is things look optimistic. And since Bitcoin is the king, if this chart goes up, like I think it will, that's likely going to take Bitcoin dominance up with it, which means it could break those Fibonacci extensions up to the upper level in Bitcoin dominance, like I said, was still fully possible, kind of like 2020 did. Now, I expect it to fail from there. We'll see how far. That I don't have the exact details on. Just got to watch it and chart it as we go, okay? How often do you wear your 786 merch? Every time you see me wear a jersey, I have my 786 shirt underneath it. I also have stickers here. We're going to be doing giveaways in the Discord. I have tons of stickers to give away. These are the OG 786 Assassin stickers, right? I have these bigger ones too in red, and I can get more of these made. The woman who made them for me is local. I have multiple colors. That one's black. Then I have yellow and gold and black. And then I have my favorite, which is the black and the blue. Because y'all know me, you see the background is Panthers and Tar Heels, and that's just what it is. I'll wear some Braves stuff every once in a while. We're going to a Braves game in 2 weeks, by the way. So I'll be going on the weekend. Winter hood. Yeah, Cheese has a 786 Assassins hoodie. I don't have a hoodie. I kind of want one. Anyway, I'll post that one day. Not right now. Anyway, back to the charts. Let's go back to the daily here and look a little closer because it is a little iffy on the daily at the moment. So Bitcoin dominance, I said, could continue to go up, and I'm actually hopeful it does because I have a very large position in Bitcoin. I reduced my alt position and moved them into Bitcoin, knowing good and well that it was likely that Bitcoin moves first. Then my hope is I can rotate out of Bitcoin back into the altcoins that I sold and then kind of double dip. Right? That's my plan because that's what I didn't optimize that enough last time. You know what I mean? I didn't optimize that enough. I missed and kind of stuck around in altcoins too long like an idiot. So anyway, we've had a lot of short-term failures here. I want to show you first that the upward fib failed. It hit the golden pocket and reversed rather quickly. See this here? This tried to reverse back up. Instead of going through, it hit the golden pocket right here, which is 618 to 71. See those fib lines right there? It hit those fib lines and immediately said, skirt, hold up, and couldn't break. Now, it's essentially started breaking fibs back in the other direction, which gives me pause and says, hey, if that's the case, we're starting a little mini downtrend here. How far down do we go? So we pull the fibs in the other direction. All right, if I pull the fibs in the other direction, that way it shows me that we've already done a 382 retrace. It looks like we poked our head down here and took a chance to get to the 50 fib, but it didn't quite get there. This could be a higher low on its way to make a run at making a higher high. All right, we have our low, we have our high, we have a higher low. I'm looking for a higher high. Why do I want to see that higher high? Here's why. This gets crucial. We have got to get over these moving averages. Simple as that, folks. This thing is stuck in the mud until it gets over the moving averages. I don't care what anyone else says to you. Until this closes up here, it's an absolute muddy war. All right. The 50 moving average continues to play hardball. 200 moving average is directly above that. We all know that the 200 moving average is like a hardcore magnet. Things get stuck to it, and it's very hard to pull away. All right. And as you see, it's kind of glued to it now. So this needs more time. And I know that sucks, but it is what it is. Also, we're underneath this big 886 fib right here now. I'd rather be on top of that, not under it. So there's work to be done here. Now, the good news is by failing short term and then rebounding short term and taking another push. This thing is gaining momentum to make another run at getting over this. It's my theory that this gets over the moving averages before we get to rate announcements, before we get to the FOMC, which is September 18th. It's my theory that we get above all of this and sit up here somewhere. If that's the case and we get above, set up there on top of those moving averages, boy, then we can take a stab at breaking the upper all-time high previous. All right. The big channel that it's creating right now, this big consolidation channel, there's a chance we break that. Once you break those, that opens up 70 to 85. We'll see how far we go from there. Then that ends up roughly in November when we have elections. No matter who wins elections, charts are going to go up. That's all there is to it, okay? Need everyone to take a breath, relax. Everything's going to be okay. We're going to make some money here, all right? So I like 70 to 85 first. Then we can gear up and take a run at 100 by the end of the year. Now, that's going to happen very rapidly. And I've got this red box right here marked out, which is December. I think that's when we get very violent. And I think that's when it's got a chance to try to take out upper highs. That's why that red box is marked right there, okay? I think that's the area where it starts to try to show out. November should get us up and moving. And we should get a higher low, and we'll see if it attacks these upper levels. And again, I think that Bitcoin likely runs out to roughly February before it takes a break. That's a guesstimate. That's within 2 weeks back and forth, just laying out the cards on the table, okay? Now, there's a couple other things I want people to see here. Before I go too far, I want to talk about the MACD a little bit. But first, we'll check any other comments we got here. Let's see. Pop it out. Pull it over here. Like that. All right, so winter favorite hoodie, right? Brian says, love the stickers. Well, sweet, bro. Thank you. Ronan says, baby blue is the one is one of the most revolting colors perceivable to the human eye. Sir, you can go to hell. Cornflower blue fight club. Bro, y'all are starting to poke the bull over here, dude. You NC State fans and all you losers who like Duke can go watch Blockchain Backer. Yeah, Jeremy, my cousin, says Tar Heel blue, baby. That's right. Just make sure you go outside, look up at the sky and see that Tar Heel blue, and remember that God's favorite color is Tar Heel blue, because he don't want to see that better than you Duke blue. All right? So I want to take a moment to talk about the MACD here. All right? I'm going to use AVAX as an example of how bad things can get. We all know how the MACD works. It's really quite simple, but I'll give you an overview real fast. of the MACD. All right. We have a few simple parts here. Obviously, you have a green side and a red side. It's very simple. This side up here is more bullish than bearish. This side down here is more bearish than bullish. All right. We want to see bullish everywhere, but that's not how it works. So now that we know we have two sides, that means we have a midline. And that midline is right through there. That's our bullish bearish break zone. When our MACD lines, which are these two lines right here, are over this midline, we are more bullish than bearish. We are nowhere near that, are we? No, we are not. Other parts of the MACD. All right. We have the MACD line and we have the trigger line. Very simple. When the blue line is over orange, bueno. When the orange line is over the blue line, no bueno. What do we have right now? Clearly, we have no bueno. However, this thing is absolutely buried, digging sideways and thinking about crossing. It cannot stay buried down here forever. And as you see, it can get really bad sometimes. This is just a confluence indicator. This is not a be-all, end-all indicator. It's just to help you build confluence on what you're looking for. The next part of the MACD, right, before we got two more parts here. The next part are our volume profiles here. Dark red means more sellers than the day before. and more sellers and more sellers. Light red means failing sellers, still sellers, but less than the day before, which is good. Means we're moving in the right direction. I'm going to sneeze at some point. Green, obviously good. More buyers than the day before. Light green, less buyers than the day before. We want to see it obviously in dark green. We don't have that yet. We got no green at all, as a matter of fact, which sucks. The good news is you can see that this thing is trying to flip green. It's trying to flip green. It's only a matter of time before it does. And once this flips green, good. Now we're looking for some better indicators. Obviously, we like an 821 EMA cross. We would like a 50 moving average break, something else, right? We're looking for confluence. This helps us find it. Last part to the MACD is the distance between the two lines. Okay, MACD stands for moving average convergence divergence. Convergence, it means coming together. Divergence means coming apart. All right. What do we see these lines doing? Are they converging or are they diverging? That is converging. That is more bullish than bearish. They were very far apart over here, weren't they? They were diverged. When you see large amounts of diversion, either direction, you can usually use that as a confluence indicator to counter trade it. There was a lot of divergence right here. See how far apart those two lines were? Kind of a sign. They're probably going to come back together some. All right? Just like this, they were very far apart. They're probably going to come back together some. We use the MACD to help us make decisions. We do not use it as a be-all, end-all, okay? Build confluence. Once you have confluence, you can make better decisions. Make sense, everybody? It's really not that hard to use. AVAX doesn't suck. It's just a bad chart right now. AVAX was miles ahead of everything else. Even after AVAX has faded back a good long way, it's still ahead of a lot of coins. I know that sounds crazy, but a lot of coins are way down here below the 236. AVAX is still on the good side of the trend line. This is going to pop. And when it does, it's likely going to at least Sniper's Alley up here, which is up at around $80 to $100, which is a solid 5x from here. That's 500% at least. And I think it may do more than that, but we have to wait it out. I know it feels bad now, but we're not in alt season again. Just using the example of the MACD from this one because it was a good example that I happened to see and posted over in the Discord just slightly before we started the live stream. By the way, go hit like, everyone. You're still here hanging out. It doesn't cost anything to hit like. I mean, it's free. Come on. You hit like, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell while you're there. The more subscribers, more people see this, the more people we help, the more people who learn, the more people who save money, and the more lifelong friends we build here. Once this bull run's over, I've talked about this a lot, y'all. It'll be break time for me for a little bit, but I want to come around and see all of y'all. I want to go across the country and meet people who I've talked to on the internet, but not necessarily met in real life. I want to see some of y'all's guys' gains in real life. I want to see what people buy with it. We've talked about Miami, right? I'd love to go to Miami. I'd love to go back to Vegas again. We want to plan that for sure because Vegas was a riot, dude. That was so much fun. We went twice. Vegas was it was amazing. Vegas was amazing. That's the best way to put it. Can't wait to go back. It's not even that expensive. You would think it would be. The most expensive thing in Vegas is the food. You don't have to gamble. You can just gamble with $20 if you want to. You don't have to put much into it. The most expensive thing is is the food. The food's crazy. It can be crazy expensive. We actually learned that we need to go to the cheap spots until we're ready to eat one nice dinner, right? They don't comp you dinners in Vegas. They comp you rooms. They don't comp you dinners, bro. I got a room comped to me. So did Andrew. Another thing I didn't know is when you go to Vegas and you bet a lot, they watch what you bet. And I didn't know that, but I didn't realize that the pit boss was counting what I was doing, dude. That tripped me out. I thought he was coming to get me. And he was like, no, I'm just counting. I was like, why are you counting? He's like, well, I need to know. I need to know how much everyone's gambling. And I was like, why does it matter? He said, well, it just depends. We need to keep track of it. Then I realized they were going to comp me stuff. And then they did. They sent me a bunch of damn free stuff, dude. It was pretty wild. Anonymity says SUX 9000, bro. I know what the SUX 9000 was. That was a Lincoln Town car covered up in sheet metal to make that SUX 9000. It got 7 miles to the gallon, I believe. In RoboCop, they said that. And you know what's different about the old RoboCop and why the new ones suck? The old RoboCop had satire built into it. The whole movie was satirical. No one understands satire anymore, so the movie wouldn't make sense to remake. And they've tried multiple times to remake it, and it sucked every time. And you're trying to make some kind of action movie out of a movie that had dark humor and satire in it, right? That's my problem with a lot of remakes. If I'm not mistaken, didn't Twisters get bad reviews? Because I was super excited to go see Twisters, but then I think it turned out to be not that good. Because the original Twister movie, oh my God, it was amazing, bro. I think Twister and Jurassic Park came out the same year, like 94 or 95. They came out the same year. Crazy work. Let's check out a couple more. Ethereum, believe it or not, weekly is still holding the line here above the 618. This is what I mean. Some of these are way better numbers, and I know it failed the green uptrend line. We still have this one back here. I've got a full Gann grid still on this one, so it's not going anywhere. I'll pull this back down to where it should be. Look at that. That was a perfect trend line touch. A little smooch on the trend line there. No biggie, just a little smooch. Back up to range, holding range. It's likely, look, September 30th is the next fib time zone over, which should indicate action. Once we get that going, that should kick us back up to at least Sniper's Alley, which is $3,500 to $4,000. Then we'll see how far we push out through March. Looks like March will be the Ethereum line. You see what I'm saying? Bitcoin will fade first in February-ish. Then you'll have Ethereum that fades in March-ish. Then you might have alts that fade later after that, April, May, right? We'll see. Every chart's a little different. This is why I say you have to chart them all separately. But February, March should be our local, quote unquote, local top. Then we'll see if we get a big push after that, more toward the end of the year. I don't know how far it'll go. I do know that December 25 looks like the end of the rope for Ethereum. That's where the fib time zones end. Which is roughly exactly the same as Bitcoin, which was November, just 1 month later. So that tells you, again, you may see some scaling out there at the end of the bull run from Bitcoin into altcoins. And really, in my opinion, there are only two blue chips, Bitcoin and Ethereum. We can start to call Solana a blue chip based on the fact that there are ETFs, et cetera, et cetera. When it's done, then we can call it that. But it ain't done yet. So we know Bitcoin and Ethereum are both blue chips. They're both ETF traded, government held, blah, blah, blah. Therefore, we don't have to call that an altcoin. We can call Ethereum a blue chip. Everything else is just an altcoin, including XRP, including every other thing. And I hate that, but it's just the facts. Problem here on Ethereum is that daily still looks like trash. It did go super oversold and pop up, thank God. I don't think it's going to go this oversold again. We'll see, but I don't think it does. MACD, a little better than AVAX. This is what I was talking about. See how it's starting to flip green here? This is good signs. You got good buyers coming in, just not a ton. You know what I mean? You don't have anything like this, but you do have some coming in. Lines are still tight together. You got a ton of divergence here. Again, signs to get in. Yeah. You had a ton of divergence, which it has switched. Blue is over orange now. That's good. Now you need to see it get up here and break the midline, which it is nowhere near, okay? We're still in bearish zones down there, so be careful. That doesn't mean it's all hype up, go bullish. It just means we have some confluence of indicators. I need to see some levels continue here. It's trying to make a higher low. You see the first low, then you had some highs, then you had lower highs. Higher lows, and you need to make a higher high over here somewhere. One step at a time. Next week could be good, but we don't know that, so I hate to be trying to guess, you know what I mean? There's not a government ETF for TAL. That is not true. They have proposed stuff. It does not have one. The only ones that have one are Bitcoin and Ethereum. Solana has one proposed. XRP has one proposed. But there is no real ETF fund for anything else. Everything else is speculation and or filings, but not anything real. Until we get something real, it's as simple as that. I know there's tons of stuff on the internet about this, that, and the other, but the facts are the facts. Until I get legit paperwork filed by the government, ain't no other stuff to talk about. You know what I mean? Grayscale is different. Grayscale has, I think, 15 different altcoins. That's totally separate. Grayscale can do that under their own umbrella, but they don't have a real ETF filing for it. They have a speculative filing for it, not a real one. It's much different. They also have Litecoin on there, Bitcoin Cash. I think they have Ethereum Classic. I think there's a few of them. But Grayscale, that's separate. It's like Grayscale Holdings. You know what I mean? Like a derivative inside of their own holdings, which is kind of neat. They're the first ones to do it. Don't get me wrong, and they're way ahead of the curve. They're way ahead of the curve, which is good. That's where you want to be, right? Leon and the Crow, 8 seconds. True Lies, Maverick, Natural Born Killers, bro. Timecock, Speed. Oh my God, Speed was so good. Blank Man, I forgot about Blank Man. Clear and Present Danger, bro. 94 slapped, bro. 94 slapped. What a year for movies, dude. What a year, bro. I was looking back and I think 84 had a ton of good movies. 84 had a ton, right? I forget all the good movies that come out. Like I saw a big list and I was like, yo, like it's like Gremlins, Gremlins, and a whole bunch of other movies come out. I was like, could you imagine having to go see all these great banger movies? And that was back when people actually went to the movie theaters. In fact, options product proposals were rolled back, likely not to. Exactly, right? A lot of proposals, but we're about to have, I forgot about Zcash, missed 100%. Damn, dude, yeah. Zcash was so far down, though, dude. It's getting absolutely murdered. I hate to bother with Zcash, dude. All right, let's do what we normally do here, which is talk about, we always, once a stream, talk about the greatest digital asset ever created. It's almost time. Look, the stars are aligning. XRP. Xena Warrior Princess said it was going to happen, so that must mean it goes. She knows more than you think. Shut the hell up, man. You don't know shit, bro. As simple as this. Everyone likes to think they know what they're doing. Like to think they know what they're talking about. Same mumbo jumbo from every influencer who doesn't share charts. Same crap, different day. Same stuff that's been shared since 2017. And you would think people would catch on. No. She went from a couple thousand to multiple thousand and then multiple more thousand. Bro, real talk. When you turn the comments off on Twitter, you lost. You lost. And a lot of posts don't have no comments. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look at Strongblock's Twitter. All the comments are turned off. Okay? When you have to turn Twitter comments off, there's a problem. Anyway, back to the charts, because that's what really matters, not anything else. We're stuck still under the 382 fib, which is still playing hardball at 60 cents. Warned you, this is going to happen. How many times do we have to come on here and say it before people start to listen? There is some good news, though. All right? We're over all the moving averages like I told you I wanted Bitcoin to be. You see that? Over top of all the moving averages is bueno. It's bueno. Problem. It might sit here for a little bit and think about it. Like I was telling you, Bitcoin, I want to see it do this. When it gets in this position, sometimes it gets stuck and has to think about it, consolidate. You'll see the Bollinger Bands get tight, which are here, and they're very much not tight. These are too wide. They need to scrunch in more. And then once they scrunch in more, you'll get that volatility and you'll get that pop that you're looking for, which, by the way, should move us up to the next level, which is another fib line, another mathematical support and resistance line. And since we're under, it'll be resistance, which is 75 cents. And I have this already drawn out for you here via arrows. All right. It's crazy that I was able to find this months and months and months in advance. It's almost as if the chart told us this was going to happen and I didn't need a warrior princess or a Riddler to tell me it was going to happen. All right. I know people hate me for this, and I know it makes people mad and angry, and you want to get pushback because you think I just can't be right about this. It's not even about me being right. It's about the chart being right. All I'm doing is reporting it to you. Right. So we're continuing this consolidation BS, thinking about it here. It's probably going to go sideways a little more, like I said, until the Bollinger Bands tighten up. I'm okay with that. And it may shoot another shot up here towards 65. Again, 60 to 65, trying to test this trend line once more. It hasn't broken yet, but once it does break, I expect that run up here to about 75 cents or so. Then we should get a fade back. When we get that fade back, that's when we really get a pop, okay? We need to come back and back test this trend line. And I know that sucks, but it's probably going to happen. The box mark go time is the important time. Again, this is not the first time this has happened in history. We'll continue to talk about this until it happens because we know it's going to happen. Same thing happened at the exact same time in the chart on XRP in 2020. You popped over the trend line, you consolidated back, you hit go time, which was in between last chance and halfway done. Hey, everybody, look, we're in between not quite to last chance and halfway done. You see that? We're not quite there yet. We're actually back in this zone from the bottom to last chance. From the bottom to last chance, you see? We're in this up move right here. It hasn't happened yet, but it will. We can go back to 2016 because this is the one everybody loves to talk about. Same thing. We're in between bottom and last chance. We haven't had this trend break yet, but we're going to get it. We'll get this bit of consolidation. Once we get this consolidation back to go time, it'll be takeoff time. And by takeoff time, I don't mean moon soon. I mean finally making some upper levels that we haven't made in a really long time. First level to attack will again be 75 cents, followed by $1, $1.30, $1.50, $1.75, then roughly $2. It ain't just going to go shooting up to the price you think it will. Those will be very difficult numbers to break. It will break them in time or at least test them. Not yet. Again, as you see, it's not quite time. Man, I hate saying that stuff to XRP people because 60 plus, Google tells me 60+% of the people who watch this channel watch for XRP. So it pains me to come on here and tell you that you're not going to make money yet. Not a lot anyway. But I can't bullshit you. I'm sorry. I have to be honest with you. That's what we do on this channel. Honesty first. Even if it hurts. Pulp Fiction. Dude, Pulp Fiction. Adam is also getting absolutely burned. Yeah, dude. A lot of these are. I mean, almost all these top tier coins are just getting roasted. Part of the game, man. Ain't nothing we can do about it except deal with it, right? So we have to keep trying, keep plugging away, and keep digging at it. Yeah, it's been trusted. It's been rough, dude. Don't trust Google. Absolutely, the coffee break trader. I do not trust Google, not even a little bit. I have to use Google for like the authenticator and, you know, like Google Mail. I've had my Gmail account for friggin' like 20 years, dude. So I'm going to keep using that one, but it ain't like I'm ingraining my trust in them. Not at all. What else do we got here? I hate to talk about a bunch of altcoins. It's really honestly a waste. So let's go look at other XRP stuff. This will be interesting. Let's look at XRP dominance, shall we? XRP dominance is a measure of how much money is in XRP versus other stuff. Let me get a drink. CRV devs, yeah, bro. I don't even want to talk about CRV. Might be one of the worst cryptos out there, chart wise. Not as bad as Casper. Go thank Kevin Cage for that one. But bad. It's bad. So XRP dominance has made it to this orange line and tagged it. The question is, how much farther do we make it? Do we tag this line again before we roll back? Because as you see back in history, we've tagged this line and broken it before we rolled back. So that white line. All right. See the white line? Same thing, right? We kind of made a move up, then bounced, then jumped back up again. I'm kind of curious if that's going to happen. Do we fade here and then jump up later, which will be that November, December area? I think so. Good news is it's shown some life. And I don't necessarily need to see it go flying up yet. I just want to see it show some life. It's held this level, this red box, for the entirety of 8 years so far. Hasn't failed. I don't think it's going to fail now. So from here, I'm not saying it's a good idea to buy XRP, but it isn't terrible. You're not going to get roasted. I just don't know if there's gains in here worth me putting a ton of money into it. Speaking technically, it's going to take some time for this thing to get right. Again, I'd like to see it up to 4%. dominance at least. If it got up to 7, that would be excellent. That might put us up near all-time high. But one step at a time, okay? Really just depends on how big total market cap gets and how much money we have come in the market. One step at a time on that. XRP versus Bitcoin, which is what I wanted to talk about. Some of these altcoins doing. Now, as we go back and look in history here, we can see that XRP has moved violently versus Bitcoin every time it got down to this red box. This is back in the first bull run. Crack broke the trend and ran up like a pro. This is back in 2020. Crack ran up, broke the trend, ran up to resistance, failed and didn't get any higher. Same thing we're doing now. Broken the trend. Do we hold the trend or do we fail like we did before? See how it broke right here and then failed back? Broke right here and then failed back? I'm super thinking that it's going to try to hold the line here, but it probably rolls back. Bitcoin gobbles up some of the dominance. It doesn't mean it's not going to be good to be an XRP. It just means that likely Bitcoin flexes on it for a little bit. The question is, how far back does this come? I don't know that it goes all the way back to this blue box. I think it may get close to it. Once we see that mark area come down and test near it, I think that may be the point where we say, okay, that's good enough, right? And can start like slowly rotating out of Bitcoin and other altcoins. Now that I mentioned AVAX, I want you to look at what it's done versus Bitcoin. Absolutely getting smashed. But look at the level it's sitting at right now. It has only during last bull run, right before it took off, failed this level. It's held this level the rest of the time. And it's right at that level now. May it fail this level? It may. It may fail this level and roll back even farther. If it does, well, I'm looking for down here to be my point where I start rolling from Bitcoin to AVAX. But for the time being, she's sitting on support, thinking about it. The real go mark is when it breaks this green line. As you see, this thing breaks trend very aggressively when it breaks. It just hasn't done it yet. AVAX has been hammered by sell pressure, just like every other altcoin. This will break, but it, as you see, isn't worth being in versus Bitcoin until it gets over the trend. Simple as that, okay? Simple as that. Will CRV ever go up again? Yeah, but I think it'll underperform. I think it'll go up, but I think it's worth it to be something. For me, it's worth it to be in something else rather than have my money in things that'll underperform, so to speak. Here's a couple other random ones. Here's Velodrome, not the original Velo we talked about, but the other Velo, what we've been calling it, other Velo. This is on Coinbase. We had a big downtrend break. Then we've come back and back tested said downtrend again and broken again. I'm curious when this gets going. It's thinking about it. It just hasn't quite cracked the code yet. I've been adding to this position, and I'm probably going to continue to do so. I don't know if this has a BTC pair. No, it doesn't. I have to do the math on it. But charts like this that are hammered, I'm looking for to that I know are probably going to perform. The market cap is only like $45 million on this one. MACD's turned up. I got some green volume. RSI was super oversold. It's dug its way out of the mud here. It needs a little consolidation time, but it looks like it's trying to break the mold and do something different. That's why I got in it. That's why I'm going to continue to add to it when I can. Anytime I get any extra side money, I'm probably going to buy that. SUI. This one's a layer 1 that's relatively new. Layer 1s did very well last time. FTM, AVAX, Cardano, many others. They did very well last time, and I kind of expect the same thing to happen again. SUI has a lot of money in it already, but it is way down compared to what it was at. A lot of new layer 1s have the same chart look right here, okay? I'm expecting breakouts from this. These breakouts lend me up here toward $5 for SUI, which is pretty good. It's like a 7x at least, right? And this isn't even the only one. There are others like it. A new one that came out that I was waiting on, but it came out a little late, was Camino. This thing has already, this is a layer 1. It's on multiple exchanges. This thing's already broken trend and fired multiple candles up. I kind of want to get a position in this one, but I don't want to go buying new stuff. That's my hold up. So There's still a few assets I'm waiting to get out of, particularly Algorand, Matic, Dot, Filecoin, Mana. I'm going to sell off large portions of those, and I'm going to buy other stuff with it. Camino is one of those that I would like to buy based on the fact that a lot of these new layer 1s will do well. And a layer 1 is just a coin that you can build more coins on, aka Ethereum, Binance Coin, and all the others, okay? They're all just copies of Ethereum. Camino is similar to that. So that's what I'm looking for. And you can kind of see the chart looks exactly like Sui, just missing all the stuff in the back. One more. Say or C, however you want to say it. Only thing I'm waiting for here is a trend break. Very simple. Break the trend and we can talk about it. Till then, it's too risky for me. I can't get caught in another falling knife. So I got to wait for this one to crack. Once it cracks, hey, we can start making moves. And I think this will have a really good bull run like the others. Where do I think it'll end up? Well, we can pull fibs on this and get an at least number. I think this goes to at least 350. And that's a hell of a ton of gains, bro. That's a 12x. That's a 12x that it could pull here. Obviously, we can drag these fibs way out here to the end of 2025. Something like that. And that kind of shows you that we got a ton of gains available once this thing breaks trend and alt season really gets going. But it ain't alt season yet. We have a long way to go till we get there, okay? Yeah, Bitcoin might drop for sure. I think DPN tokens will perform the best. Yeah, I doubt. I don't even, no one, okay. This is going to sound mean. No one knows what you're talking about. People are going to buy stuff based on what they see on Twitter or what Coinbase tells them to buy. That's it. That's it. No one knows what DPN means. But if everyone talks about it on Twitter, retail will jump in, yes. Luckily, we'll be ahead of that. But those charts do look decent for later. I agree. I don't think it has anything to do with being DPN or DeFi or anything else, or layer 1 or layer 2. We just saw good performance from coins like that last time. That's why I bring it up. The narrative does not matter to me. I don't care about the narrative. I'm just making a point to say, be on the lookout for charts that are getting crushed right now because they're going to make a comeback. You know, Say or Say, whatever it is here, is 114 down to 20 cents. That's a hell of a discount. That's hard to turn down. You know what I mean? So now it's 27 cents. It's still a great discount. You've got a solid 4x just back to where it was before, and it's likely to get there. So listen, that was a crazy hour. That went by fast, bro. That went by hella fast. Thank y'all all for being here. It's super awesome that people still come here and hang out. We're never going to get the numbers that we had at one time. We had 150 people on live streams back in the day. It'll never get to that again because people are quitters. And people don't like me telling them the truth. They would prefer if I told them BS. What's crazy is I could get on here and lie to you and have 10 times the followers. That's wild, isn't it? And I know that because I've got multiple people telling me that who monitor and or run social media accounts that tell me every single day how I could have more followers. But I don't have the energy to be a bullshitter. I'm sorry. So, with all that being said, thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be here with me. You'll never know how much I appreciate that. Make the best of your todays, the worst of your tomorrows. Let's have a better day every day, okay? Last but not least, if no one else told you, Keith will tell you. Keith loves you. Sky's the limit. Y'all be good. See y'all on the next stream. Zoom after this in the Discord. Peace.